Miss you guys in Philly. But it was a good media day. The guy, obviously being our first American Athletic Conference media day, but we've been to a few of them. I was impressed with the way it was conducted. A lot of things happen. This time of the year, everybody is full of hope and dreams, just like we are about what our potential is. So we're selected fifth, I think, in the American Athletic Conference. We want to commend um, Diedrich for being preseason co-player of the year. Those are great recognition and stuff that can, I think, inspire and motivate him to be better, and as well as our team to believe we can do better. But it's interesting to see, all the coaches. It was the first time I really had a chance, except at the spring meeting, to see and during the summer at some of the recruiting events. Again, it's that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Who'd you vote for to win the league?
To win the league? I can't remember. I really can't. Probably Cincinnati. Someone, I think, probably Cincinnati, I think. I mean, my man helped me out here, so I really wasn't sure about, after looking at the stats, and I think Cincinnati was picked to win it too by the media. Oh, was that the coaches poll? Coaches poll, yeah. I'm a little.
All right, as you get ready to start, well, you already started practice, but you're getting ready to get into game week mode. How do you change up from what you were doing to right now as far as getting the guys ready high school players?
Well, first, you have to get everybody healthy. We had 3 guys miss practice Saturday, and it didn't look good. We had probably our worst practice our worst practice up to date. So we need to get people healthy. We're still, putting offenses in, putting underneath out of bounds plays. Just things that we need to take a look at. Maybe work on some of our zone work. But no, we'd probably start ratcheting it up as far as the intensity and preparation for for our first game in a week or so.
You've had 4, I think, walk-ons that you've added. Any of those 4 do you feel will be contributors?
Yeah, they all will contribute. That's why they're on the team. To what extent? But that's why everybody's on the team. I don't know the contribution. I expect their contributions to be outstanding, just as I would, Diedrich Lawson's contribution. Now, what does that mean? That means to be here and give everything they have every day in practice, work as hard as they possibly can, and do the things they've been told to do and asked to do, and they'll be fine. But I'm happy, pleased with the 4 that we have.
You obviously had a sense of what the job was like from afar when you took both the opportunity and the work that has to be done. I'm curious, having been here, is there more work to be done? Is it what you thought? How does it differ from what you might have expected? Or what is the size of the job?
Well, I have no real expectations. Whenever you take a job, you have what you have to do. You have your plan. You have your priorities, and you work from that. You better not come in with any pie in the sky expectations, or you're going to have a lot of disappointments, and you're going to be on a roller coaster ride. After be doing this for 6 times and traveling for 13 different jobs, I know you better have an even keel. You better come in ready to do the best job you possibly can, put in the work you have to put in, and that's how it's done. You measure each day by the effort you put in. You have a practice plan. You execute the plan. There's no, what I mean. It's Memphis basketball, but so was Texas Tech basketball, so was Minnesota basketball, so was Kentucky. It's been no different for me, to be honest with you. I'm really impressed with the kids. It's always trying to get to know media, get to know other people, learn names, faces, and But I think I've got a good group of guys that are working extremely hard, and they're giving their. I think for the most part, they're giving their best effort. Some days it's not as good as we would like, but it's been pretty consistent so far.
The headline yesterday was 3 years to sort of
Mm-hmm.
to get. Is that to know the landscape here, know the people, or is that to be to get where to build a program to exactly where you want to go?
I don't know what context it's taken. You know, it was 3 years at Texas Tech to get them where they needed to be. You know, Minnesota was a little bit tougher, and this is not a. When I'm talking about 3 years, I'm talking about to assimilate yourself, to learn people, to learn the city, learn the community. You know, to be able to not so much. No, I expect to win this year. You know, I expect us to be a postseason team. I expect us to be able to compete for championships from day one. And the 3 years is more or less your staff, family, getting to know, and people know, and then all you know. So we were right at that point, and you just hope that it's, and that's kind of the game plan as far as who we are and how we have to adapt, and just how long it takes to really. I guess you're never comfortable, but to feel like, you know what, we got things in order. You know, we're working, whether it's the booster group, whether it's anything that's going to help you improve your program, your recruiting. You've laid the groundwork. Just like Saturday, we had 70 high school coaches here from around the state and around the area, getting to know them. I mean, it's not something that happens in a year or two. You know, it's a process, and it's constant work. It's constant reaching out, selling the program, selling myself, selling that we have. You know, it just doesn't happen overnight.
Speaking of that process, Coach, you talked about, you've got like a formula or a plan, whether it's Memphis or Texas Tech, to try to get things going. Are they this far into practice, or is this team about where you think it should be, or every team is different and they work on different things?
Well, again, I mentioned how we had 3 guys out Saturday, and it was really not a very good practice. So it tells me that we, you know, even though all the walk-ons were there, but we had Chad was out, and Chad's been playing extremely well, and he, you know, things go a lot better and a lot smoother when you have a player of his ability that knows how to play, that's doing things well. Jake's a very intelligent player. When he's not out there, it's just and then we didn't have Keon, and he's probably one of our better shooters and is playing extremely hard. So you had, you know, it was. So you asked me that question. No, we're not where I want to be, but I don't know that you're ever where you want to be. You know, where you want to be. You know, we need to be at a certain place by. Because we have a scrimmage Saturday, so we need to be at a certain place then. That's why we need to improve in some areas. And the taking off days, for instance, we had off Sunday, Monday, we'll practice a day, and we're going to have to take another few days off to meet our NCAA requirements of having, you know, days off. Those things will enter, but it's been a big help. I'm sure Brad Anderson, our trainer, you know, was telling me he needed this time for some guys to kind of mend and heal and feel better and get some treatment. So hopefully all of the guys did what they were supposed to do over the last couple of days to mend and heal. But some days we're where we hope we would be, and some days we're not. So since Saturday, I haven't been very happy, to be honest with you. Pardon me? Yeah, it's just a turned ankle, and Jake's had the knee injections, and Chad, I think he's strained a groin, so he should be fine.
How much more do you expect to get out of a scrimmage like you'll have Saturday as opposed to having that second preseason game?
You know, this is only the second scrimmage we've ever coached in since I've been a head coach, so. You know, we had a scrimmage a couple years ago against SMU when Coach Brown was there. Coach Larry Brown was there, and things didn't turn out well that year. so I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. But Roy Williams and I are good friends, and we had talked about this way back. So it'll be interesting to see how our guys, measure up. And it's not a matter of, every time they go on the court they compete, whether it's in practice or whether it's in a scrimmage or whether it's in an exhibition game or a regular season game. So we just want to look at a lot of, and we're going to do it differently. In that we'll probably do some things, maybe look at our late game situations, time and score underneath out of bounds. So I'm not sure. We haven't discussed how we're going to break up the scrimmage. Yeah. Pardon me?
Your second scrimmage in your career, is there anything else since you've been here that you haven't experienced in your career up to this point as far as
You from a basketball coach? No. No, I pretty much experienced a lot. But you mean as far as what we do or what we have done, our coaching philosophy, our coaching, this is this is the first real basketball practice facility I've ever coached in, to be honest with you. Up in the first few months at Kentucky, but then we were gone. Minnesota, we really didn't have a practice facility. Texas Tech had a practice gym that was attached to the arena, so it wasn't really dedicated strictly to basketball. I think that's the one thing that's different, which is pretty cool, that we come in here and we have access to this, and it's, other than former players working out here now and then, it's pretty nice. This is an excellent opportunity for our players. They have access to it 24/7. Hopefully they're taking advantage of it. Some of them need to take more advantage of it, to be honest with you. Now I can name quite a few of them. Probably everybody on the roster right now, based on the way I saw things Saturday.
Beyond the scoring and rebounding, do you need Diedrich to be a facilitator at least some of the time? What do you expect from him leadership-wise?
From Diedrich is a very he's a complete player, in that he's got to continue to improve his defense, his footwork, and get stronger. But as far as basketball, understanding the game, he's a very plays. He has great instincts and good feel for the game. So you're right. I think he needs to be a facilitator when teams are stacking against him and doing things to try to keep the ball out of his hands. And now he needs to be more of a screener, moving without the ball types of things. And I think, and I always tell, especially the good players, the screener is usually more open than the cutter. So if you want to be a good scorer, a good team player, you need to screen, and that's something I think that. But we're playing him now. He's having to have to play inside a lot, which he will. But he has the ability in our motion offense to move to different places on the court. But yeah, I'll need him to do a lot more than he's done, and that means we're going to try to get shots for him at certain places. But we need him to, when it's not there, to be willing to find the open man, which he does. He's a pretty unselfish player.
You obviously know that other teams are going to focus their defense on stopping him until somebody else gives them a reason not to. You
Right.
already had the kind of stay within yourself conversation, or will you?
No, I watch it in practice because we try to double him in practice. The players know he's the opposing in scrimmages and in drills. Players know where he's. They know his strengths, and they try to take it away from him. So I think that's just going to help him get better, as far as when to double him, where to double him, to force him to get the ball out of his hands. Late shot clock, they're doing things that we're not really telling them to do because they understand. And then, we're probably going to have to do things like, because he's pretty much matched up against the same people in practice every day, and we probably need to throw a little more quickness at him. Like we need to probably put Jamario Rivers on him, because Jamario is probably our best defender and can keep the ball off of him. Whereas a guy like Chad, he's gonna or Kareem, he can pretty much have his way with them. So we've got to continue to try to make him better by putting him in tougher situations. Pardon me?
Mark Cal has just talked about this summer that he wants to be more of a vocal leader.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from him since you've been here as far as growth on and off the court?
Well, I was impressed with Markel. He went through a Diary of a Tiger and interviewed me on the Kevorkian station, and I've been impressed with him. He was with Doris Burke yesterday, and the way he's communicating, I think he's just confident, and he's more competent about how he can express himself, and I think that's given him the courage, that hey, I can lead, not just and verbal is not so much verbal, just it's what you say and how you say it, and I think that's what he's learning as a leader. That's what does the team need at this point, and encouragement. So a guy need to be his teammate need him to be which I think he's a very positive person, and that helps. That he's a guy that in the huddle is going to be the one that's going to say family on 1, 2, 3 family. He's the kind of guy leading the chants, leading the march. So that tells me he is. I need him in practice, in workouts. I need him to do more of it, more talking on the court, to be using the proper terminology when we teach them to say screen, get through, open, or help side, or what, things they need to talk, and that's what I need him to do a little better job of. But as far as I think the players, I think they respect him as an athlete, as a player, and probably respect him because of what he's gone through with his knees, with his injuries and stuff, and all things he's had to overcome, not just physically, but in other areas of his life. And I think, but people, you have to earn respect. You got to earn it every day, and that's what I need for him, more consistent from every player, to be consistent in their behavior and in their actions and in their deeds and in the way they talk.
In your rebuilds at Tech in Minnesota, were you using the walk-ons that you were having to use here?
Oh yes, everywhere we've been very fortunate to, and it was I've never seen anything like here though. It was we must have 50, 60 guys. Probably had some girls too that wanted to try out for the team, but seriously, it was just a basketball, and that's great, that they want to contribute. It's a testament to Memphis Tiger basketball that we get that type of turnout. I can't say enough how thrilled and how happy and how pleased I was to have so many young men, show up to want to help, want to be a part of it. And that's what you're looking for. Those guys and those kids that love basketball, but they love Memphis Tiger basketball more.
Can you give an update on KJ Lawson? I know you said he had hobbled early in some of the workouts.
Oh, I think he's just getting better. He's getting stronger. His legs are getting strong. I think KJ shot the ball. He shot it better than he had in a while in the scrimmage. He was one of the bright spots in the scrimmage, if there was one. But so, I think he's getting healthier, getting stronger, and doing some good things on the court. Just looking at what he did in just the 20 minutes. We only played 20 minutes. I couldn't stand to watch more, and I'm sure the coaches that were here couldn't stand to watch much more. But no, it wasn't that bad. It was good, and he did some, coaches. We always say things like that, but he's KJ is improving. again, like everybody else on the team, he's got to improve his defense, and I think that's where he's having the toughest time at, like pushing off and on that heel and on that foot.